Hi, I'm Rob from HopZine.com. Thanks for joining me for another video beer review. This time we're going to be looking at a bottle of Bombay 106 from the Durham Brewery, obviously in Durham, in England. This was kindly sent to me for reviewing by Elly over at Durham, so definitely check them out. You can buy the beers online now. They've all been, I think they've had a real kind of overhaul of their marketing recently and their presentation of Durham. The beers have always been fantastic, really kind of making the best out of British ingredients. I think they really get the most out of English hops. Anyway, so they've recently relabelled all their bottles and it looks really smart. They've got a snazzy new website, so yeah, big thanks to Elly. So make sure you check them out online at durhambrewery.co.uk. See if you can see that. No, not really, because I'm blocking out all the light. Anyway, so it's, as it says on the bottle, it's original India Pale. It's a 7% IPA of a British, definitely of a very traditional British nature. It's only hopped with Goldings, which is quite a bold move really. A 7% British IPA hopped only with Goldings hops. It's going to be a really interesting one. I'm really trying to get back into British hops and really appreciating those flavours and getting to know them more. So I think this is going to be a fantastic opportunity to get to know Goldings really at its peak as well. This I think started life as I think it was their Magic IPA, but yeah, it got rebranded as Bombay 106. Anyway, let's waffle. Let's get it in that glass. As far as I'm aware, this is bottle conditioned. Bit of smoke pouring out of the neck of the bottle as I poured it. So what we got here? Lovely, nice and clean. Kind of like a somewhere between like a sunset orange and like a really polished copper penny. A slight haze on it, ever so slight haze on it. A small amount of carbonation, and then a lovely, tight, frothy head of pure white. That's lovely. It's a lovely looking beer. Anyway, let's have a sniff. How interesting. Oh, there's something quite phenolic about that, which reminds me of like a Belgian triple. Oh yeah, slightly kind of a mild clove quality in there, but a really soft quality. Maybe a bit of root ginger, but a really kind of those kind of esters that you get from they get in a Belgian beer, like a Belgian blonde ale. Or a triple. Yeah, orange. But there's a bready quality that really kind of like a sweet bread kind of thing. Like a brioche, like a buttery bread. But yeah, with a really crisp lemon, orange note that kind of cuts through it all. But then this lovely hint of cloves and a really nice estery quality that's usually you'd spot in a Belgian beer. I mean, it's not overpowering that. It's a lovely kind of complement to it anyway. So let's have a taste. First thing that hit me. As soon as you take it that first mouthful, a lovely amount of body. It's a real smooth beer. I mean, 7%. You'd hope it's not going to be mental as well. You know, I mean, you're going to put a lot of hops in to balance it out, but you need a decent amount of malt in there as well to make it kind of drinkable. I've had some overhopped mental beers recently, and this is definitely not one. There's a lovely balance to it. Anyway, down to the flavours. Initially, quite an assertive hop bite, which is quite piney. And quite a cutting citrus bitterness, which I'd say is more on the lemon side. And then as I'm experiencing now, it's quite perfumed. It's quite a perfumed kind of wild flower kind of thing going on. yeah, it's quite there is a floral kind of wildflower quality to this beer, and a kind of like a bitter kind of prickle of the hops as well, which continues. I can feel it right at the back of my throat, and that lingers. In many ways, there's a certain kind of Pilsner-esque element to it as well. I don't know what that is. They might have used some lager malts or something in it. But 7%, it's a really interesting kind of beer. It is 7%, but it's really light. But at the same time as that, it has got kind of certain qualities that you'd often find, as I said earlier, in the Belgian triple. That those kind of, it's got a bit of, it's got a real kind of assertive bitterness, which is really kind of consistent. And there is a hint of alcohol, I'd say, in there, and that once again is kind of taking me back to those Belgian triples. And I guess it's one of those things that Belgian beer is so kind of historical. They would probably still use Kentish hops, so Fuggles and Goldings and that kind of thing. So I'm sure, and obviously this is using that, and that's where you're finding that common ground. It's that hop flavour that you'll find in a traditional Belgian beer, which nowadays in British brewing and definitely in American brewing you're not going to find. You're going to find a more of a sweeter mango, orange, grapefruity, kind of sweet pine bitterness. But this is all about kind of it's quite a roughness to it as well, a rough citrus kind of bite. It is definitely a bite as well. Yeah, definitely kind of lemon and lime, and it's the flesh of those fruits as well. It's like biting into it, and you can feel those little elements in the segment kind of bursting, and that juice has been set free. Lovely and drinkable, but yeah, I find that fascinating because yeah, as I was saying, British beer. You don't think this says British beer? It kind of speaks of the Belgian side of beer, but I guess it's because that hop endures and it has been used in numerous styles all over the world and continues to be. And I guess this is a brewery that I look into the future, but I've got a definite kind of appreciation for historical brewing, and as this is certainly, I'd be fascinated to see if this was how, how IPA, the traditional kind of IPA was, because this is essentially what it would be: a strong beer with a load of hops in it, and they would be Kentish hops. There wouldn't be Cascade and Amarillo and Citra and Nelson Sauvin and all these wonderful new world hops. It'd be traditional Kentish hops. So is this a kind of like a snapshot of time? Is this what IPA traditionally is? I don't know. I guess it's IPA has become something more than what any of us fully understand these days. Anyway, less of me waffling about all that. So this is a bottle of Bombay 106 from the Durham Brewery, and it is 7% ABV, as it said on the bottle, a premium bottle conditioned beer. I ain't got that far down into the bottle. I'm going to be sipping this for a while. I mean, it's 7%. I've got some cooking to do. This will be a lovely one, just to stand on the counter and get topped up once in a while. Yeah, anyway, a lovely beer. Once again, big thanks to Elly over at Durham for sending me over a couple of beers for reviewing. So make sure, once again, you check these guys out on www.durhambrewery.co.uk. Anyway, I'm Rob from HopZine.com, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.